guys, are you wondering or thinking about something else to do for your kids or your husband or for yourself for breakfast other than the usual things they eat, and maybe it's becoming too repetitive? One thing you can do is try a cinnamon roll. If you want to know how to make this lovely cinnamon roll, keep watching. Welcome back to Esentiaxperience channel. I have Jamie here today and I've got JCL. It's Saturday. We woke up late, supposed to be a sleeping in day, but yeah, because it's really cold today. It's windy, it's rainy. It's a day to just cuddle up in bed. Just take a look outside and see how the weather is, how wet and windy it is. Isn't it a good day to have cinnamon roll? Yeah. It is a good day to have cinnamon roll because we can have a hot chocolate or a cup of coffee with it. So let's get right into it. The recipe I divided into two, so it's two sections because one section we're going to use for the dough. Yeah, so the dough, and after the dough is activated, then we'll roll it up and then we'll put the remaining ingredients on top of it. That's where I'm going to need a lot of your help, okay? You girls are good helpers, right? Yeah. But for this part of the thing is pretty easy. I will need your help putting it in, but not so much. To make the dough, you're going to need 4 cups of flour. I'll put the equivalent in kilograms in the description below, but you need 4 cups of plain flour. You need 1 sachet of yeast. So if your yeast doesn't come in sachets, that's equivalent to 7 grams. And like I said, the whole ingredients will be in the description, but I use easy bake yeast because it activates in 30 minutes, so it's quite fast. It's a fast working yeast. I have half a cup of melted butter in here, and we've got half a cup of white granulated sugar, and we've got 2 cups of milk. And this milk is warm to the touch, not very hot because you don't want to kill the yeast, but it's just slightly warm. But just put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds, you know, so just to heat it up, so it's kind of lukewarm. That's the word I'm looking for. And I would like to show you these, and this is what I used to measure almost everything in this recipe. You don't need a weighing scale or anything like that if it's going to waste your time. If you have these, super. You can get the thing going in little or no time. So this is a set of cups. You can get them in a pound shop for £1. And back home, I don't know where you can get in Nigeria, but if you can get it, it will be good to have in your kitchen. So we've got 1 cup, you've got half a cup, you've got a third of a cup, you've got a quarter of a cup, 1/8 of a cup. You've got 1 tablespoon and you've got 1 teaspoon. So most recipes you might just need this really quick to measure it, so you thank me later, or should I say you're welcome. Anyway, so into the big bowl that I've got here, I'm just going to put the melted butter in first. Right, see, that's to show you how cold it is. I melted this butter, but it's already getting hard again, so I'm just going to stir it. But usually you don't have to because it's supposed to be really runny. Into the butter, I'll put 2 cups of warm milk. Jimmy, do you want to help me pour the 2nd cup in? JCL, can you help me put the sugar in? Yeah, I'll move your chair a little bit. Ooh. All right, pour the sugar in for me, JCL. Yes, just all of it. Yes, the white one. We'll use the brown one later, but for this dough, it's just the white one we need. And then we'll put the yeast in. See how easy that is? There is no rocket science, no mixing involved yet. So we just stir that slightly, and then you pour in all the 4 cups of flour in. That's a big amount, but like I said, you could have this recipe if you have a smaller family, or if it's just you at home. You don't need to do this much. Well, it's 6 of us. By the time we dive into this, trust me, it's not gonna last. So that's why I'm making this quantity. But if you have a smaller family, just divide this recipe into 2. That's all you need to do. So instead of 4 cups of flour, you use 2. Instead of 2 cups of milk, you use 1 cup. It's as simple as that. You see, that's easy. We don't need to knead this dough. Even though it's like a bread dough, we won't need to knead it. Once you mix it in, the next stage, I'll tell you in a minute, is just to cover this and put it away in a warm place. Sorry, Jamie. That's alright. So that's it. Did that take us 3 minutes? That didn't even take 3 minutes. Trust me. Just
1 second.
It was slightly more than 1 second, JCL. But the truth is, it doesn't take a lot of time. As you can see, that's the dough ready. I don't need to knead it, nothing. I just need to put this away for the yeast to activate, and just put it away in a warm place. If you're in Nigeria, it's already warm. You don't need to hide it anywhere. But in the UK, I usually just put it in the oven, not an oven that's on, or just on inside a cupboard or something, just where it's not too cold. Okay, it's all inside the microwave, but it's turned off. Not you don't want any heat, but you just want it slightly room temperature. You just get a foil or a tea towel to cover your bowl as much as you can, and then you just put it away. We have brought this away from the hiding place, and the yeast has had time to activate. If you're using the normal yeast, it should take about an hour or slightly above that to activate. And if you want to make this in the morning for your kids or something, you can do this in the night so that you don't have to waste time, and this is ready. And then your actual cinnamon roll can be ready in 15 minutes. So, but for the fast rising yeast, 30 minutes away and you have your dough ready or almost ready. So the second part of this recipe, we're going to be using these ingredients. I'll talk you through them. So I've got 1 cup of flour. We're not going to use all of it, because if you notice, the dough is slightly sticky, so we still need flour in there, and then the remaining will be for the rolling part of it. You'll need 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, because there's no cinnamon roll without cinnamon. You'll need 3/4 cup of brown sugar. You can reduce this if you don't want too much sugar. If you notice, we put some sugar in the dough, but that's the recipe. 3/4 cup of brown sugar. You can use light brown sugar or dark brown. I'm choosing to use dark brown because that's what I have in my cupboard. We've got 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. This is optional, but I usually like my cinnamon roll more fluffy than the yeast would do. And then I have 3/4 cup of butter, just normal room temperature butter, not melted this time. This is the fun bit, because you need to do this with your hand. There'll be a lot of rolling and spreading and sprinkling, which is the part that you come in, right, JCL? You like that bit? So into the thing we are trying to, so do 3/4, right? JCL, Jamie knows her fraction very well. So this is my second quarter, that's 1/2 cup, and now we have 3/4 in there. I'll put in the 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Then I'll just mix this in. This is what the dough, the final dough, it looks like, right? After you've incorporated the 3/4 cup of flour, salt and baking powder, you get that. So now we'll just roll it up. So I'll use my last 1/4 cup of flour as my dusting flour. This is just to prevent the dough from sticking to your rolling pin or to your worktop. Okay, so there's no hard and fast rule about this, but what I want to try and do is get the shape of a rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to do it. I would have let you do it, but I tried to get, it doesn't have to be a perfect rectangle, but you just want to try and roll this dough up until you get like 1 centimeter, I think, thickness, and the shape is almost like, as much as you can, get something that looks like a rectangle. Just say, what's a rectangle?
It's like a square.
Yeah, but
smaller.
Very good. Oh, smart girl. Okay, so it's looking good, looking good. Not yet there, almost there. I've managed to create almost like a rectangle, slightly curved at the edges, but it doesn't matter. So now Jamie and JC will do this part where we'll spread 3/4 of a cup of butter around on top of this rectangle. We'll sprinkle the sugar, then we'll sprinkle the cinnamon. That's what we'll do now. Then the next stage will be to roll it up and get the cinnamon roll, right? So now you do the spreading of the butter I need their help for this because they enjoy doing it and it's easy.
Just cover all the butter all over the flour and then roll it up.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Is to sprinkle the cinnamon all over, just like we did with the brown sugar. You could use your hand, you could use a spoon. Much I think I'll use my hands.
It's gonna be more fun.
Yeah, it's more fun. Yeah, Dad doesn't like snakes. I don't like snake either. Do you like snakes?
Did you know Abby's dad doesn't like snakes either?
Oh, really? Do you like snakes, Jamie? I bet you do.
Yeah.
You're weird like that, aren't you?
Can we help cut it?
Okay. So now, the next thing is I need to cut this up into almost 2 centimeter length. So when you cut it up, this is the edge, so it will not show you perfectly, but you should see swirls of cinnamon and sugar in the middle. I'm using my silicone mat over my oven tray because it doesn't stick and it's very good for baking. But if you don't have this, you can just lightly butter a pan, okay, or an oven tray and use that. If you don't have that, you can use a cake pan. Just butter it lightly or spray it with oil spray. So I'll just keep cutting the rolls. You can cut it at an angle or you can cut it straight. It's up to you. So that's what you're aiming for. You want to see that swirls. And it's going to bake and expand and get bigger. So you don't want to keep them too close to each other on your tray. You need to give some gap. Cut up the rolls and we put them into, they couldn't fit into one baking pan, so I got the second one. This is how much you get for that recipe, so it's really a lot. And we're just going to chuck it in the oven now for 20 to 25 minutes. It depends on, I think it's 180 degrees Celsius or something like that. Basic temperature that you use for most baking anyway. So you put that for 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown. So, and I'll show you the finished product. See ya! Ta-da! This is what you get. Fabulous cinnamon roll. Looking very nice. Even though we did it at home, it actually does look very pretty, doesn't it, Jasmine? Give me a high five. Well done. Good job, girls. And now it's time to dig in. With this cinnamon roll, it's okay like this. You can eat it like this because it has a lot of sweet and all that. But if you want to add some extra pizzazz, je ne sais quoi, taste, you want to, tingle your taste buds some more. So for today, we have different options because we didn't make the cream cheese frosting that usually goes with cinnamon rolls. So you can use anything you like or anything you have, or you can eat it like this. Trust me, it's good like this on its own as well. You can put lemon and sugar like Jana. You can eat it with custard like Jaden. You can eat it with whipped cream like Jamin. You can eat it with what, JCL?
Toffee.
Toffee, yes, toffee sauce like JCL.
You need to melt.
Yeah, you can use dark chocolate sauce like me, which is my favorite. Or you can melt your own chocolate sauce.
Or you can just eat it ready.
Oh, you can eat it when it's ready like that, without anything, just straight off from the oven. Or he likes strawberry, so I bet he will like my strawberry jelly that I made. I made this a long time ago, but yeah, I have it in the fridge, so that will be also good to try. So yeah, let's stop talking and let's try this thing. You can see how fast that went down. That giant tray is finished and this one is remaining just 4. Just gonna put it in the fridge and later they can have it for snack. Your kids can have it for snack, for going to school. They can have it in their lunch box. They can have it for breakfast. So you try it for yourself. But if you have children, make it for your children. Go ahead and let us know how you get on. You will love it. You will really enjoy it. For a change, do something new. Surprise yourself. It's so easy. You saw us do it, right? We showed them how to do it. And don't forget to do what?
Subscribe to our channel. channel.
Yes, subscribe to the channel. You got that right. Leave a comment in the section below and to tell us how yours came out, or maybe a photo on our Instagram. Until next time, keep living, loving, and laughing. Subscribe. Bye, guys.
Bye.